Hi,
My name's Jay. I'm
hi,
from Canada.
Jay. Yeah, my name is Max.
Max from
Yeah,
Taiwan. Yeah?
yeah, I'm from
Oh.
Taiwan. Yes.
Are you in
Yeah,
Taiwan? Go ahead.
uh, yeah. I'm starting learning Japanese for 1 month.
Hi, doji
Yeah,
yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Watashi wa Jay desu. Very good, very good. Why are you
yeah.
studying Japanese? Why?
I learn English and Japanese because the two languages is popular in Taiwan.
Hmm.
So yeah, I want to learn and I want to practice the language. Maybe help for my job.
Definitely. I think you're making a good decision. I agree with you. I have a student. He's from China and he's working at a Japanese company in Kobe, Japan. He's working at a Japanese company, and I don't know if you know the interview process for getting hired full time at a Japanese company, but he did it, and he speaks fluent Japanese and he's advanced English, right? Fantastic. He's a brilliant guy, and so he's actually the only foreigner working in the Japanese department, right? So I think you would have wow, I think you would have a great opportunity for working in the future to have English and Japanese and Chinese, right? Together.
Yeah, yeah,
Whoa, man, that's potent. That's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I do think so. So I want to practice English and Japanese. Yeah.
Good.
So, but for now, I I really don't know how to. I just learned Japanese for 1 month. So if I starting to speaking learning Japanese, so how can I say hello and become starting conversation in Japanese?
And starting a conversation with somebody you don't know, some,
Maybe
you
maybe the first time we met.
wow. You have to understand the culture in Japan is very different than the culture in Taiwan. Okay, I worked in Japan for 6 years. I worked at Sony, the company Sony,
Yes,
right?
Sony. Yes.
And they have their behavior, their cultural behavior is very very specific. Okay, so for example, if you are young and you're talking to someone older, okay, you always bow low and you use formal Japanese. Okay, formal Japanese when you're speaking. If you're
Yes.
speaking to a friend equal, a person who's equal to you, that's different. That's a completely different language, right?
Yeah,
Completely different.
I know that. Yeah.
In business, again, in business, wow, I have seen Japanese businessmen on the telephone, right? You on the telephone talking to their manager, someone higher up, the bucho, somebody high up in the company, and he's holding the phone like this, and he's bowing to the phone, right? I've seen it, right? Yo, wakarimashita, wakarimashita, blah, unbelievable.
Wow.
I know. So
Go to in the phone. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, to the phone. And in the
Yeah.
morning, I was lucky because I lived in an old area in Tokyo, okay, a place called Amanuma. And in the morning, I would walk out to go to work. I'd walk out, and there's this old Obasan. She's called Obasan, grandmother. Okay, she's across the street, and every morning she's out sweeping the street, right? And she's got to be like I don't know, 85 years old. Okay,
Mm,
but oh, I loved it. I loved it. I would stop. I'd be very silent, very quiet until she noticed me, and she'd notice me, and she goes, "Oh," and she would bow. She would just go very slowly bow and go, "Ohayo gozaimasu," right? Very slow and very very careful, right? And I go, Obasan, Ohayo gozaimasu, you know, and it was cool. We did that every day for 6 years, honestly, really. It was so cool. It was great. So yeah, it's fantastic. And then if you have friends, okay, if you're, I don't know, maybe you get a girlfriend in Japan, okay? I have, no, I mean, I have Korean students on Cambly, and all they want to do is they want to marry Japanese women. They don't want to marry Korean women. They want to marry Japanese women, okay? So completely different again, okay? So their culture is very, you know, it's very, very, everything has a very precise, and it takes a long time for a foreigner to learn proper behavior in Japan, you know. I found it unbelievable for me. I mean, this was most amazing.
In Taiwan, we have a history about the Japan. They rule. They in maybe 80 years ago, Japanese just controlled Taiwan.
Oh, they went crazy. They went absolutely crazy. Yeah, all the way to Indonesia, to Australia. They had comfort women in Australia. Australian women were comfort women to Japanese soldiers, right? I know. China, they completely killed hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah,
I know.
So,
and even
my grandpa and my grandma was educated by Japanese. They can speak in Japanese. In Taiwan, many obasan or jisan, they educate by Japanese in Taiwan. Yeah. So I know about maybe a little about the culture of Japanese. Yeah. But and in Taiwan we have so much affected by the Japanese, and we maybe I don't know.
Don't be shy, okay? Just this is great, because what we're doing is we're having a conversation about a real topic. It's not an IELTS exam, okay? This is a real conversation we're having, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you to have brought this up, and we're actually having a real conversation, okay? So don't you worry, because I have lived 3 years in China, okay? 2 years in Shanghai, 1 year in Wuhan. So I understand mainland Chinese. I had a girlfriend in China who was from Taiwan, okay?
Oh.
Yeah. And I know how she feels and how her family feels about mainland China, okay? I understand.
Okay.
6 years in Japan, 2 years in Korea, 4 years in Vietnam working, right? 2 years in Thailand, and 4 years in Dubai in the Middle East, okay? So you don't worry, I've been there. and I studied, my girlfriend in China, she gave me a book to read on the history of China, right? I understand. Dao Xiaoping, Mao Zedong, Dao Xiaoping, and his wife, right? And the crazy wife. Oh my God, what they went through, and not that long ago, you know, mainland China was, compared to today, it was completely opposite, right? Completely an unbelievable country, right? So
yes,
yeah. So Japan is, I would say, here's a good word for you, okay? Anomaly. Wait a minute. Did I get it right? Hang on. Wait. Anomaly. Or anomalous. Anomalous. Okay, I think that's right. They're anomaly. Okay, and in understanding Korea and Japan and Korea are very similar. They're very similar in a lot of ways, right? Especially in business behavior, right? My feeling was in Japan, the Japanese businessmen, if they looked in the mirror, if a Japanese businessman looked in a mirror and saw themselves, what they would see is a samurai warrior, okay?
Samurai warrior?
Yeah. Today, I think a Japanese businessman, with a tie, and they work for Sony, but what they see in the mirror, in a reflection, they are a samurai warrior, in 2018, right? That's their attitude. That's what they think, okay? Yeah.
Oh, so they're warrior about the business warrior.
Yeah, they look at, today, I'm not sure today because it's been a couple of years. It's been a number of years since I actually worked there. I was working in Japan when Japan's economy was #1 in the world. It was strong, okay? And since then, it's been going down and down and down and down.
Yeah.
So I don't know about today, but when I was there, yes, absolutely. The Japanese businessmen, they thought of themselves as being this modern day samurai warrior, okay? Something like that.
Yeah.
Are you planning on actually living and working in Japan? Is that the idea?
No. I learning English. I learning languages just for fun, and maybe I learn English by myself for nearly 1 year, and I start to learn Japanese for 1 month, and I want to know more about languages that I can read more article for my life, and I want to be a smart, be a more knowledge. Yeah, I want to do that. Yeah,
I think young people today. I'm old now, but my attitude. My attitude has always been. There's so many interesting things happening in the world. I want to explore everything. I want to try to do as much as I can. Okay, and that required traveling. So I did, and wow, man, wow! You go to I'm Canadian. Okay, now let's face it. Taiwan, China, Vietnam, Japan. You're talking about cultures that are thousands of years old, right?
Yeah.
China's 5,000 years old. Really old. That's old, right?
Yeah, really.
And Canada, about 200 years. That's it. 200, right?
200, yeah.
My culture, Canada doesn't really have a culture, okay? Canadian culture is defined from America, McDonald's food, and England, influence. But Canada alone doesn't have much of a culture, as really. And when I go I go to another country. Dubai was interesting. The United Arab Emirates. Well, very old, very, very old culture. And not long ago, all Arabic. There were no countries, okay, in the Middle East. It was just a big area, and all the people were Muslim and Arabic, okay, Muslim and Arabic, and they were called Bedouins, meaning nomads of the desert, of the desert, right?
Of the desert.
Yeah. Nomads of the desert. That's how they lived. These people lived in the desert, right? And I thought, wow. And today, the young generation, the young guys, I was teaching 20 to 28-year-old Arabic students, okay? And these guys, this is the first generation of Arabic students who are living in a very modern world. Right? They're, one generation ago, they were like nomads in the desert. With camels, right? So it's unbelievable. I think traveling is very important for a young person today. You've got to understand other cultures and the differences and the similarities, okay? The similarities between cultures. Very, very important.
First of all, I'm not young. Yeah, I'm 40. And
boy, you don't look 40. You look young.
Yeah. Thank you. So I learned Japanese maybe for traveling, and we in Taiwan many people go to Japan just for traveling, for fun, for maybe shopping, maybe visitor something the cultures. Yeah. So I learned Japanese. So I want to maybe a little easy Japanese. I can shopping, or I can traveling use the language of the traveling.
It's easy to do. That's easy. I think learning to speak conversational Japanese is easy. It's not difficult. Yeah. Because their intonation is very flat, right? There's not a lot of, like in Chinese, there's lots of intonation in Chinese, right? Up and down, up and down. But in Japanese, it's pretty flat, Otsukare-sama deshita. Otsukare-sama deshita. Otsukare-sama deshita. Dou yoroshiku onegai shimasu. It's flat. It's flat, right? And even though if you're reading and writing and you're using Romaji, katakana, hiragana, and kanji, Chinese kanji, in one language, right? I found reading and writing, now that was difficult. I found that very difficult, but I found speaking to be pretty easy to do. So I think you can be up and speaking Japanese, I think 4 to 5 months, easily for you, because you already know, you understand kanji, so you're already there, okay? But for a Westerner, I think it's not a difficult language to speak; it's a difficult language to read and write. That was my feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, because you are Canadian, so the kanji is very difficult to use.
Very, very difficult, but very different from European languages. English comes from Latin, and Latin comes from Greece, and the whole history of languages, the Western languages, originated from Europe, right? And many of the languages in Southeast Asia, wow, and I'm amazed. Like right now, I'm in Cambodia. I'm speaking to you from southern Cambodia. You know where that is?
Yeah, Cambodia, I know that.
And I look at the language of Vietnamese, Vietnam, then the language of Cambodia and Thailand. They're similar. Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand are very similar, okay?
Yes.
But Vietnam, wow, that's different. That's really different, right? And you go from there. It's amazing. It's amazing. So there's not enough time. There's not enough time to learn all this really cool stuff. But I'm certainly, my experience in Japan, without question, my experience in Japan was 100% positive in every respect, okay? I say this because I had a good job, I had good money, I went to the fitness club, I ate good food. Japanese food is good. I ate good food. My body was strong and healthy, right? I had a Japanese girlfriend, and that really helped because, I could understand a lot of cultural stuff from her, right?
Yes.
And I had a very, very, very understanding Sony manager. Okay, he was amazing. He eventually retired, but he was very, very helpful, right? Yeah. So I feel my experience in Japan was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. So you live in Japan for 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe so you have a Japanese girlfriend before.
Yeah.
That's so you learn Japanese conversation is from your girlfriend?
No. My manager at Sony, after 1 year, my manager came to me and said, "You learn Japanese or go back to Canada." He just said that. You either learn Japanese, and if you don't learn Japanese, go back to Canada. He said that. So I told my girlfriend to stop speaking English. No more English. She only spoke in Japanese, and that was really, really helpful for learning, right?
Yeah. So you first of all you cannot speak any Japanese, right?
No, I couldn't speak any. No, when I first arrived, of course, I didn't speak any. No.
So how do you start conversation with your girlfriend? Japanese and English together?
Hey, wait. Just like while you're on Cambly, the Japanese study English, so we communicated in English, right? We didn't communicate in Japanese. Initially, we didn't communicate in Japanese. We communicated in English, okay? But then my manager said, study Japanese or go home. Okay, and I told her to stop speaking in English, and she only spoke in Japanese. And it was really helpful because, wow, what did you just say? She'd just say something, and I would record it. I'd have a recorder, and I'd record it, right? And then I'd listen to it at nighttime when I'm going to sleep. I'd be playing the phrases and the vocabulary and the verbs and the grammar and the sentence structure as I'm sleeping, right, in my bed.
Wow.
The lights are out, but I'm playing it over in my mind. And that was really helpful. That really sped it up because I'd play it over. Imananji desu ka? Imananji desu ka? Imananji desu ka? Imananji desu ka? And over and over. And I'd have it. I just get it, right? So the next day when I go into work, go into the office, I would try whatever I learned from the night before, I would try to use it. I would speak it, right? And if I made a mistake, the office ladies, the thing with Japanese is that they will respect you more if you learn their language. You're respected if you learn their language, okay? So it's really cool. Yeah. So, but it's great. Here, wait, I got to give you something. I have to go. I've got a reservation now. I have a reservation starting.
Okay.
But here, we can there's my live real-time schedule, okay? And you're welcome to contact me anytime if you would like to talk or make a reservation, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you take care. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.